Yeah, let me take the introduce the team members. So, Sharon. Good evening, everyone. Let me take on behalf of the HCAS, Hyderabad Chartered Accountants Association Society. I take the great pleasure in welcoming you all to this virtual webinar titled Empowering CS with AI Skills. And it's surprisingly showing that the participants registered for this event is more than 1,000 members. And it is itself is showing that how our CA and professionals are looking towards the AI and how it is going to impact our profession. This initiative has taken by HCAS to continuous efforts to keep our members and future ready and informed about the technology trends and shaping our industry and our working style. We have a highly engaging session linked up with the CA Saran Kumar U, and we are sure we'll find immense value to the day sessions. Without any further delay, I would like to request Ms. Asha to introduce Ms. Sharan to take it forward.
Thank you for the warm welcome, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Asha, and I'll be your host for today's evening. I'll be giving the speaker's introduction. It is my honor to introduce today's speaker, U Saran Kumar, sir, who is a chartered accountant with over 14 years of experience in finance, technology, and data analytics. He is certified in information systems audit, forensic accounting, and concurrent audit, and has worked with major corporates like Microsoft and Credit Suisse. For over a decade, he has provided consultancy in automation, dashboards, forensic audits, and data analytics to listed and unlisted companies. Saran Kumar sir is also a sought after faculty for ICAI and various government institutions, including CAG, IRIFM, and ASCI, and also teaches at leading B schools such as Christ University and TAPMI. He currently serves on the Audit Advisory Board of CAG Karnataka and as a managing committee member of ICAI Hyderabad branch. His YouTube series, Thursday for Technology, is well followed in the finance community. Now let us all invite CA Saran Kumar sir to take us through the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Asha, for great and brief introduction. And my apologies for all the people who are waiting. It's already delayed for 5 minutes, but that's fine. We will go into the topic, and I thank Suresh for approaching me and giving this opportunity. And I thank all the committee members of HCAS, one of the most vibrant Chartered Accountants Society at Hyderabad. The best part of HCAS is they always take into the consensus of all other organizations, including the branch as well as the chartered accountants in the society, and they try to do the give value addition to the chartered accountant community. And wishing you all a very good luck for your tenure, Suresh and other entire team members. Without taking much time, let me directly jump into the topic. My session gonna be for next 2 hours approximately. Wherever the questions you have, I request you to put into the Q&A. I could not see the Q&A. However, last 15 minutes, the host going to, or the organizers are going to give me the question and answers into my chat box. I'll try to answer each and every question. Till then, I request you to please hold it. And wherever you have any question, probably you can just raise your hand. I request organizer to unmute those people so that we can try to interact there itself. And as I mentioned, this is more of interactive session. I always suggest and recommend so that it should not be a one-way traffic. Without taking much time, let me jump into the session. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Can someone please
before going to the session?
Yeah.
Miss Manvita and Miss Prashanti are on the call, who will help out with helping moderating the event for reading out the question and answers, and whoever the raise their hands, unmuting them, all those things they'll take care of.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's come to the topics. Generally, I don't present so many slides of the PowerPoint presentation. Rather, my sessions generally don't have a PPT except very few slides. However, I kept the PPT in the folder. I'm going to update the working files into the same folder. And at the end of the session, I'm going to share the cloud Dropbox link into the chat box so that everyone can download all the files. I generally don't share the PPT because my sessions generally have more than one file. I'll be keeping everything into one folder. I'm going to share across to the link to all of you so that you can download all the working files. We'll start with the introduction. I'll just give you a brief what I'm going to talk so that you understand how relevant it is. Uh, I'm going to give you the brief introduction about the artificial intelligence. I'm sure by this time, because the AI is very much matured in the market, and we all are maybe using AI. But I wanted to go to little nuances into that, trying to understand how each AI is different, how different the prompt is, how important the prompt is, and so on. Then we'll try to discuss about important AI tools in the market. Though there are thousands, rather millions of the AI tools, I am only trying to touch upon the important AI tools where very popular in the market. However, you will find a number of tools, sometimes for my specific requirement, may not be popular one useful, but there may be some unpopular AI could be directly fit into my requirement. So in those cases, I request you to have a continuous study on the AI tools so that you can have a bookmark of those tools. Whenever it is required, you can just go to the try now, check it out whether for your requirement it exactly fits in or not. Always remember, one shirt cannot fit for every individual. Everyone's sizes are different, everyone fabric is different, every shirt is different. Exactly, it is the same. So AIs are different, different purposes. One AI cannot serve for all your problems. However, I'm going to cover only the important AI. When it comes to the AI, the very important aspect is the prompt. I'll be talking about little elaborate on the prompting side, because if your prompting is good, always your result is always the best. That's the reason I'll be covering one example in case of GST, how we could use the prompting. Then same, but not same. What is the meaning of it? Normally, when we ask a question, specific question, whether I ask XAI or YAI or individual, the answer is same. Who is the Prime Minister of India? Whether you ask any AI, it is same. It is Mr. Narendra Modi. You ask any individual, the answer is same. I don't think so. Person to person, the answer is different. But when you are asking to get the solution for a problem, let's say if I approach an individual stating that this is what my problem, could you please give me the solution? Solution is not one word. Solution is not straightforward. Solution cannot be a specific, right? If that is the case, if I approach X individual, he is going to give me X solution. If the same problem, if I go and meet second person, he's going to give me a different solution. Maybe the objective is same, but the presentation of the solution is different. If I go and meet the third person, again solution is different. In the same way, though prompting is same, even within the same AI, if I take an example of artificial intelligence, chat GPT, even in the chat GPT, you open a conversation, ask for a problem. That means you give a prompting about a particular case. It's going to give you the answer. The same prompt you open in the new conversation and give it there, it's going to give you the different answer. I don't think so. Word by word, it's going to give you exactly same. How is it possible? Because that's what the AI models work. That's what the GPT work. GPT meaning itself is generative pre-trained transformer. It's going to generate the content for you. When I'm trying to generate the content, I have a capability to generate. Why I need to remember the previous one and give the same answer? When I'm having unlimited capability to generate it, right? It is as simple as it. Even I could take the same example of mine. I could have taken maybe till now, this may be my 40th or 50th seminar on the AI for the last 2.5 years, 3 years. But I don't think so. In all the seminars, I have spoken with the same words and same content. When I need to remember, when it doesn't generate a content, then I have to remember and I have to reproduce. When I can generate the content, if tomorrow also, if I can take the same topic, maybe my English may not be the same. I may not start with the same introduction. Probably I may go into a different introduction because I can always generate the content. It is exactly the same. That's the reason your answer, your friend answer for the same problem may not be same. And your answer and the same question what you are asking, you are getting in one conversation, and the same person you getting into the other conversation for the same problem, both results are different. Because of this nature, you could not produce this as an evidence into the court of law. Very, very important thing. Recently, when we had a discussion with the high level, individuals in the government organization, this is what the biggest question. How can you tell that ChatGPT is generated this? Because it's not a specific. And when you go into the court, before the court, if you ask the same question, ChatGPT may cheat you, giving a different answer. Then how can you consider ChatGPT answer and do everything? So that's the reason when it comes to the governance, when it comes to the security, when it comes to the making as an evidence, people may not consider the AI, right? The one of the reason is it never remember what it has given it to you earlier. Then, how important the custom instructions are. We always surprise looking into one of the AI the friend is using that is crisp, clear, and very simple. In my case, always GPT gives me paras and paras. But whenever he asks, it's always crisp and simple. Whenever I ask, it's giving me paras and paras. What is the reason? So we'll try to understand the custom instructions a little brief. Cases not to be used in AI. I always, whether I talk on Power Query, Excel, Power BI, AI, whatever the tools in the market, I know every tool is a powerful, but before understanding the power, you must need to understand when you should not use that tool. What is the danger part of the tool? Except that everything is a power. You need not explain the power because to understand the power, there are n number of videos in the YouTube. To understand the best part of that particular AI, n number of articles are there. But when it comes to when you should not use, that is very, very important. I can give one simple example. Recently, in case of bank audit, everywhere we were talking about how to use AI in the bank audit. But at a couple of places, when people asked me to talk on the bank audit using AI, I only told try using as less AI as possible for the bank audit. People asked me, Sharan, why? When people are using AI and doing wonders, why not in the bank audit? Because I always tell bank audit content in the web, bank audit content at the back end of any AI, what they stored in the servers is not sufficient to analyze the data and give the best result for us. But if you ask any English sentence to summarize it, because they have trillions of terabytes of data, then out of which they can take the best pattern and give you the result. But when you ask a bank audit related information, very small information, it may sometimes go wrong. That's the reason, it's very important when you should not use the AI. Why always AI is not correct? We'll take a couple of cases. In fact, my own practical case will take it. And we are going to cover about a couple of important aspects for the chartered accountants. What is important, how you can build a custom simple functions, how you can, build Power Query code when you have a guidance note like Microsoft, ICI, how you can get the question and answer from the guidance note, how you can build small applications, how directly you can connect your chat GPT into Microsoft Excel with API, and how to use the Copilot into MS applications. This is what we are going to talk for next 1 hour, 45 minutes, right? Any question till now? Any question? I'm considering, okay, no. Let's go ahead. What is AI? I'm not going into, again, very basic fundamentals of what is AI and so on. However, I wanted to go into that little introduction because if you can understand this basic functionality of AI, you will get to know when you can ask a question to AI, when AI is responding worst, you should be in a position to understand why it is not responding properly. I'll quickly cover in 2 minutes how important we need to understand the artificial intelligence. I can always give a comparison between the human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. The name itself, it is an artificial. It mimics like a human. It exactly does what human does, right? However, what many things human do, AI cannot do. What many things AI does, human cannot do. Maybe AI does very fast because it's a application, it's a hardware. If you can make more processors to process the data, it does the work of 1,000 individuals automatically. But as a human, I cannot do sit in 1 hour and do the work of 1,000 individuals. So human intelligence having its own great power, there is no doubt, and artificial intelligence having its own power. Both has to complement each other. I don't think so. AI can replace HI and HI can replace AI. Both has to go hand on hand. I still remember when we all were filing paper returns in income tax returns. When I was doing my articles, it was paper where we need to fill the details. We have to stand in the queues of income tax, department. There we have to submit it. They have to give the stamping. Lot of human process. In 2009-10 era, when income tax department introduced online e-filing, now see the ease of filing. Crores of people started filing it. They also started analyzing crores of returns at a time by just using the algorithms, filters, abnormality, and so on, and sending the notices. That's the power of using the technology. But do you think that power will come? I don't think so, because at the end of the day, at the back end, human is there who can make that power. So my humble request to all the people, do not believe that AI will replace HI. No, AI cannot replace HI because AI can only do the work what taught to the AI. Otherwise, it can create something what was there in the mind, the data, the patterns which are already there, right? Something which is not there, AI also cannot do, right? That's the reason I always consider human intelligence is at most higher level comparing any hardware or software in the world. Let's see what is the human intelligence. I can put with a simple example. Whatever the memory I have is a brain, it's stored in the brain. I'm now 39. For the last 38, 39, for the last 38 years of my content in the sense, since my birth till today, I remembered terabytes of data. I'm sure you all agree, right? For the last 38 years, the content, if I take it, if I can store into my memory, the equivalent size, if I can store into the hard disk, could be maybe 10 terabyte. Even if I can remember everything as a movie or image. In fact, 80% of the things we don't remember accurately what we have done. In fact, if you ask me 5 days back, what is the end-to-end day activity, I don't remember. Even let's consider I remember. I stored in the memory. Then how my neural network work, which is there in my brain, it's going to do the process of that information and give me a message to my other organs. That could be, my mouth, my ears, my eyes, and everything. I can take with it one example. I have two friends. One guy name is Harsha. I known him for the last 20 years. Almost every week I talk to him. I have another friend named Harsha. His name is also Harsha. At the CA days when we were studying, okay, we were in touch. After that, 3 years back, I met him at Vijayawada in one of the seminar. After that, in the recent ICI elections at Hyderabad, I met him. Now, suddenly I'm in the call, I'm in the seminar now. I'm getting a phone call with the name called Harsha. I did not see the, whether he's the F Harsha or Harsha CA. I did not see anything. I just got registered into my mind Harsha. Immediately, I picked up the phone and I just said, Arey, tell me, Ra. Why? Because whenever I see the name of Harsha in my phone or call, I always think the Harsha which is there with me for the last 22 years or 20 years. Because his content is used, stored in my brain, whenever Harsha comes, my brain immediately starts filtering the Harsha with whom I have an access for the last 20 years that overrides all other Harsha in my brain. Now the other guy started saying, because I said Ra. Ra is, very informal way of, greeting. Then the other guy started saying, Are Sharan, generally don't call me Ra. Now he's saying, probably he's thinking me a different person. Then he started saying, Sharon, do you remember 3 years back I met you at a CP seminar at Vijayawada? Last year I met you in the ICI election. When he started giving me little input, my brain started filtering based on that input, the content. Now, finally, I am finally with one record called Harsha, whom I met in the recent election and so on. Then I started asking, yeah, Harsha, I'm really sorry. Tell me, right? What is happening here? Everything is happening because of the pattern which is there in my brain, because of the data which is there in my brain. Because the first Harsha data is more, my brain processed very fast. Even if he comes into my office, my greeting is very warm. My greeting is, very informal because we are good friends. Okay, I ask him, are you just come, sit, we have a casual conversation. If a Harsha, which I second person, he comes to my office, I go meet him very formal because not having a good relation with him, my brain automatically process stating that, Sharon, you have very limited information about this person. You met it very recently. You doesn't have a good communication. You better go and give the greeting, right? This is what exactly I can put into the artificial AI. In the AI, based on the information it's stored, based on the pattern it identify, it's going to give you the response. Now let's see what are the different types of AI. One is the GPT model. The other one is the agent model. What is the meaning of GPT? In fact, whatever I'm going to talk here, everything are the GPT. GPTs are the one which are leading the market now because GPT is doing wonderful work. Now agents are coming. I'm sure your HCAS soon are going to talk maybe in next 6 months so how AI agents will help a chartered accountant office. How GPT, now what is the title? Empowering CAs with AI skills, right? Empowering CAs because we are individuals. But tomorrow the title could be empowering CA offices with AI agents. Try to understand the difference between the GPT and agent. GPT creates the content for us. It always creates. But how does it create? It understands based on the previous word what should be the next word it has to give. Initial days when ChatGPT introduced, it was little slow by creating the content. Now it is very, very fast. It always creates the content for you. It could create a code for you. It could create a content for you. It could create an image for you. Everything is a creation. But have you seen any time a GPT is controlling your office? Meaning, when a person is coming into your office, if he scan the QR, automatically it should give, let's say my office is a very small office, wherever the office is very big, it's going to give which partner is sitting into which office. And also, whenever it asks the personal information, do you think GPT will automatically allot to, okay, now this partner is available, you please go. Whenever he calls, automatically the other person is picking up the phone and scheduling a meeting. Automatically, the other person is giving the basic information. Now, in my office, let's say if anyone call, the call goes to the article student, understand the basic information and note down something. Whenever I come back, they are going to give it to me. Sir, I asked them to come on Monday because this is what the GST opinion they are looking for. And this is what, the details they have given. But now imagine instead of an article student, an agent is asking. Agent is a person, a software. Now software could pick up the phone, understand the other person, takes the basic information. The basic information should not be a template because sometimes I need to ask only 2 details. Sometimes I need to ask 10 details. Sometimes I need to ask 20 details. So it will understand based on the context of the question. It will understand based on the conversation. Now replace the article student with agent. Agent is going to ask the question. Agent is going to give the brief information because it already stored a lot of information. Then agent will check the calendar of the partner. Agent will tell to the other person, my boss will be available after 2 days. Then agent is going to send the message to me. Our agent is going to call me and give the briefing that this is what the discussion happened. This is for your information. That fellow will come, right? That is what the agent is. This is what the future is. Your your agents are going to sit on your applications. It understands, read, observe everything, and it's going to do the work for you. Task one, if it does, it automatically goes and do the task two, goes and do the task three, task four, task five, and so on. That is the place where the human may be little replaced with the AI. But the skilled human cannot be replaced. Skilled human, even if any company removes, there is one or other opportunity will be there. These all are GPTs. And chat GPT is something, okay, we all are very familiar. I'm sure everyone might have used at least once till now. ChatGPT is from the OpenAI. It introduced in November 30th of 2022. When ChatGPT came into the market, within 5 days, 1 million people downloaded and everyone started using it. Over the period, it got a lot of maturity. It updated a lot of models. And now I am using ChatGPT, pro version for the last many years, at least 2 years, 2.5 years, I'm using, right? So it is doing a great work for you. Let me tell you, not only ChatGPT, for any APT any GPT you spend money. If ChatGPT is 2000 rupees, if I spend money 2000 rupees, it is, let me tell you, it is equivalent to 5 article student and 1 chartered accountant. It does most of the work for you, where there is a creation of the content, getting the ideas, and implementing something when it comes to the coding and so on. I am using chat gpt left and right every day. In fact, my known circle, including my family, they always tease me that you paid only 2000 rupees, you are taking the work of 20,000 rupees. That is what you can use it. I'm not recommending chat gpt. That's what very important. First you start using, in your phone you should have all these applications. When you take one prompt, put into ChatGPT, you will get the result. If it is satisfactory, start using it. If it is not satisfactory, put the same prompt into the Grok and it's going to give you the result. Same prompt into the Meta, it's going to give you the result. So you will understand over the period which tool is best for what, right? So ChatGPT is 2000, if I'm not wrong, $20 per month. So you can start using it, and I feel that's gonna be the best one. You can do it. Grok is approximately 600 rupees. But let me explain you, if your case study is about what and what type of thing, you can use it. For all chartered accountants, my recommendation is the ChatGPT, because I have used it at great extent. I know many times it disappoints me, but it disappoints me less number of times comparing the other AI tools, right? That's the reason I recommend from my end ChatGPT. Grok is also good, but Grok is from the X. See, when ChatGPT came into the market, everyone in the market wanted to build their own GPT because they're having huge content. X having huge content at the back end. So whenever you ask any prompting there, this is actually majority of the time try to take the content from the tweets. Why? Because X is their own product. Content started dumping every day, terabytes of data. That could be news, that could be a content of English, that could be a coding, lot of things which are there in the tweets, because that is from the Twitter, based on which it's going to give you the information. Okay, however, it's going to search online. Gemini search directly into the Google, right? ChatGPT search in all the online free applications. Grok, majority of the cases, search into the X, because X is like a search. You ask anything about any officer, their tours, any information, any announcements, any coding related information, because a lot of influencers started keeping the information into the X and so on. It's going to get that content based on which it's going to give you the result. It's more of witty, okay, because it's more of humorous in the tone. It can integrate with the X timeline at most. It cannot be integrated with anything. However, there are APIs access. Answering the tweets, casual conversation, search within X. Meta is completely free. It is LLAMA. Based on my little R&D on the different AI tools, Meta is not best for most of your problems. But when you are using many a times the Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, if you want to put a very nice post into the Instagram, very nice post or title in the Facebook or in the WhatsApp, probably you can use it. However, whenever you go to the WhatsApp, you'll find a round symbol of the Meta icon. Once you click it, it's going to give you the information based on your question. The problem there is no conversation. That means if I ask a question relates to X topic, if I want to start the Y topic, there is no conversation model. However, you can go to the web and the conversation is available. Claude is also, I feel, one of the best, but not as compared as ChatGPT. But Claude is also okay. Some of the cases where ChatGPT fail, I use Claude. Claude is having a Claude 3 model now, as of now, and we are using it. Grok is also 3 in case of paid. Gemini is certainly best. Otherwise, I can put into the second or complement each ChatGPT and Gemini first and second, because leaving apart anything, when it comes to the information out of all these company, which company is having the most? The Google. Because for the last 3 decades, they are the people who rule the entire world when it comes to the search engine. So obviously the results when it comes to the searching something, you'll find it much, much better in the Google than ChatGPT. You need to understand here a couple of things. I'm sure you all are aware. Let me search it. You all are aware. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. Tribunal tax case. Okay. ChatGPT. AI mistake. Right? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. There was, look into this case study. Look into this case study. I'm sure you all are aware in many chartered accountant groups it got circulated. I'm just making a story out of it. I don't know the facts of it except the one which is already there in the newspaper. The citation that was not now withdrawn tax tribunal order triggers. 1 second. This ad is not relevant required. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's okay. Otherwise, let me open, because money control is something which always takes a lot of time. Tribunal AI mistake will take any newspaper. Yeah, this is what the article. Let me tell you something about this article. This article is basically, I'm just making a story out of it. Let's say I'm an advocate. I'm representing a case before the tribunal. Obviously, what I need to do, I have to make my case more stronger with the relevant case studies which can favor to me, and I'll include those cases into my whatever the reply I'm giving it to the tribunal. I'm going to give that information to the judiciary member, honorable judiciary and technical members into the tribunal. What an advocate has done, he has taken couple of citations, including the case studies, and he represented the case before the tribunal. He argued it, and he argued excellent. And the citations, though judiciary members and technical members are having little doubt whether this is there or not, but the way he argued, the facts he kept before the members, they thought that probably we missed it and this could have been there, because the facts are very clear. And they have given order on favor of to that advocate. Now, after a couple of days, the tribunal members started seeing, he cited a couple of things into the argument. Let me go back and understand what is this citation. Then they started searching it. They are the people having the best information about the law throughout the country, all the landmark judgments and so on. Now, surprisingly, what happened? He did not find any citation, whatever that advocate argued. Then he called that advocate to understand. Then the advocate came and he started asking, "Hey, you cited something earlier in the argument. Could you please give me or extract or source of that case study?" Then he went back and started seeing from where he got it. He himself forgot. Then he got to know that he searched in the AI. Then he came back and said, "Sir, I'm really sorry. I searched in one of the AI recent 5 judgments about this particular one, and it has given me a couple of cases, out of which I took 1, 2, and I used into my argument." Then both got to know that those cases are nowhere exist in the world, in India especially. Then the tribunal, called back that order. See how dangerous it is. How dangerous it is. That's what I'm always telling. It's not about using a chat GPT, it's not about Gemini and so on. You must need to try always doing research with the different AIs. You need to understand which AI is better for this particular type of work. Not all the problems can be solved by one AI, rather each AI having its own expertise to solve the problem. Probably I could have imagined that whenever you go to the chat GPT, always it takes a latest model. When you go to the Copilot, earlier it used to have three options: basic, balanced, creative. Basic, generally, what is the mindset of the human when it comes to the basic? We think it's a very cheap because the word is basic. Balanced in the sense medium, creative in the sense advanced. But let me tell you, basic is not lower or cheap, balanced is not intermediary, this is not advanced. Both are having its own meaning. Basic means, Sharon, I could not do a lot of analysis on the data which is stored in my brain. What I'll be doing, can I tell you? I'll try to get the data as much as possible what you asked. I'll just produce before you with the limited, formatting and so on. If you ask me the tabular format, I'll probably try to put into the tabular format. That is what my job. I don't want to process it. Because if I want to process, I have to spend a lot of tokens for that. And I don't want to waste my tokens for this. It is a basic. That means what is there in the memory, get it is a basic. What is there in the web, get it is a basic. Then balanced in the sense, though however I'm going to get the information, I will try to do some aesthetics to that. I'll try to make some value addition to that. I'll try to format whatever you ask for, right? But not completely not changing the base data. The third one is the creative. The name itself is creative. What it is saying, Sharon, I may not use the entire data which is stored in my mind regarding this context. However, I may use the patterns out of it and I'll create it for you. Now you imagine the advocate in my story, what he might have used? He might have used creative because he doesn't know that creative is something going to create for you. That is what the meaning of the wrong model selection when you wanted to use it. And in this case, he selected a very wrong model which is not fit for his case study. Probably if I want to make a letter redraft, you can use the latest model because it's having a good pattern. But if you want to get a case study cannot be generated. Case study has to be taken from the data which is already there, the archives. In fact, the GPT name itself is generative, right? It's going to take the case study without changing the context and basic understanding. Okay, it's going to give the format which is looking for me. That is what required, right? There are n number of examples. It does these type of mistakes. So what is important in this entire case? Okay, let me go a little further into this. And friends, if you ask me what are the paid versions I'm using ChatGPT paid, Grok paid. Grok is 700 rupees. I know Grok is not very great every time, but sometimes, whenever ChatGPT fail, I try to get the content from the Grok. Then I use Gemini because I use Google Workspace. Along with the Google Workspace, Gemini automatically come. I use the Copilot. These all are the four paid versions I'm using. I may be using because Copilot for Microsoft Excel, Word, and everything is costly, 3,000 per month. Maybe this is 2,000. Maybe this is 700. Maybe this is another 2,000. Total together, maybe 7,000, 8,000 I'm using. But let me tell you, this is very, very worth of I'm using because it is 7,000 generally an article student, stipend, 7 to 10,000 is the range as of now. But if you can spend 7, 8,000, I'm sure it does much, much better work. Not only the article student, another paid chartered accountant at our office. I closed n number of forensic audits I drafted there. It doesn't mean I just give the prompt, it's going to give me a report. Though I'm using the chat GPT, but I need to give a lot of content and prompt. No GPT in the world can give you a direct solution for a problem. You have to keep on improve the prompt based on which it's going to give you the solution, right? So if one assignment through which if you can get 1 lakh rupees where you are spending, you are getting the help from the any AI, I feel that's worth. Okay. Now let's go into one small story of the prompting, because prompting is very, very important. Many a times I feel the chartered accountants are very, very lazy in prompting, right? Let's see this story. What is the story? Many a times in our mind, okay, we wanted to get the result. We think ChatGPT does anything, and we already predetermined that it's going to give this result. But let me tell you how to stop GPT from acting like you are confused uncle, right? Be specific or be misunderstood. It is both are in your hands. Whether you want to get the specific result or whether ChatGPT is misunderstood and giving you the final result. Now, I have given a very lazy prompt. What is this prompt? What is CA? Because Sharon, you only told that you can use anything, you can ask anything, ChatGPT is giving you the result. What is CA? Now ChatGPT be like, California is state in the Western United States, and he started giving me an article. Okay, then I just say, bro, I just wanted some career guidance. When you ask it this, why you did not tell this? Because we are lazy. What is CA? Because it has given something which I don't like, I started saying, I just wanted some career guidelines. Then asking what is CA to GPT is like asking an auto driver, take me to somewhere nice. It will end up at his cousin's wedding because he feel his cousin wedding is the best place for him because you did not tell him where to take. Now let's go a little down. Getting smarter a little slightly now. What is CA in India? Because it said California. Now I changed my prompt. Then it started giving CA can refer to current account in banking, and it started giving a paragraph. Again, I got frustrated. I said, I'm not opening a bank account, bro. I want to open a career path. How we are going to have a conversation with a human, exactly it is the same conversation you need to have with the AI. The context here is that the thing you need to learn is add context, or GPT will add on its own. If you don't add the context, GPT consider its own. And trust me, GPT has wild imagination. You don't understand. First time, it may think about the world war. Second day, it may think about something else. Third day, it may think about something else. Even the person who invented the GPT doesn't even know what it thinks. So it can only think best if you can get the control of the GPT with your prompting. Now let's go a little further, whether I am getting my final result or not. Now, okay, let's drop a clue. What is CA in India? Earlier I asked. Now I included what is CA in India in education. Now GPT started saying CA can refer to computer applications in many Indian educational institutions, and it has given me an article on that. I'm saying you're almost there, but I'm not here to code in Java. I wanted to decode income tax, right? Now I changed my prompt. What is CA in India in education in commerce? And there may be a more chance it's going to give CA stands for Chartered Accountant, a prestigious professional course in commerce stream in India, and it has given me a big article. Why you did not ask this? Sorry, why you did not ask this in the first prompt? Because we all are lazy. And the chat GPT, these models are free. We always think that, okay, no problem. Anyway, it's going to give me, if it is wrong, let me ask. But friends, tomorrow you may be a prompt engineer in the finance application building for an organization. Always think in that line. I'm sure this session, how many people are watching? 271. Out of 271, let me imagine 50% are young people. 135. Out of 135, I'm sure at least 100 people in 2 to 3 years will get an opportunity to be a consultant for the company where they may be, implementing a AI that is nothing but a AI agent on their applications. Then they will take your support. When they take your support, how you can help them? You can help them in asking the question, because I'll take the API of a particular AI, I'll use that API and I'll read that API, that AI into my SAP data. Whenever I ask, tomorrow it will be like this. A CFO of the company will have a small chat box, customized chat box. He will simply ask a question, provide me in 2024 Q2, what is the sales in Andhra Pradesh, Guntur district? It's going to give you a figure. From where it is taking the figure? It is their organization data, right? So the AI takes this question as a prompt, it's going to fine-tune the prompt at the back end. It is going into the SAP data, filter the data based on the question what he asked for, giving the final information. Then immediately ask, could you also please tell the same information, the same value for 2023? He has not told Q2 Andhra Pradesh Guntur because it has to understand. Now it has to take it, fine tune it, go back to the SAP, get 2023, then immediately he'll ask, could you please give me a small chart on this? It should be in a position to generate a chart. So within 3 questions, he's getting the data from the SAP filtered, kept one below other with a comparison in the chart. Otherwise, if I ask this question to a human, the guy who is sitting into financial planning and analysis, I'm sure at least he will take 10 to 15 minutes time, because logging into the SAP is a time, downloading the data with giving all the inputs is a time, and downloading 23-24 will take a lot of time. Then keeping the filters for the relevant data takes the time, and keeping those only 2 records and making a chart will take the time. Instead, I can simply ask 3 questions, the answer will come. But how can you make a role in this entire scenario? Yes, of course you can make a role. What is the role? The CFO asked a very simple question. Give me the sales, for 2024 for the Andhra Pradesh region, Guntur district. But it will not take this prompt as it is. It's going to fine tune this prompt at the backend, right? Prompt enhancement. While building these applications, they may call you because you are expert in the finance. They will tell, Sharon, could you please tell me how I can make this prompt in much better? In those cases, you can't give a very vague prompt. Why? Because every time the API takes it, prepare a prompt, get the information, give the result to him. If I give very vague and lazy prompts, API will take so many calls to process the data every time, get the information. Because it has given free for all of us in the trial version, we are asking n number of questions. Initially, ChatGPT was completely free. Now ChatGPT made a limitation, right? Now you can't use more than 10, 15 deep research and so on. I'm sure one day will come where you need to pay for everything into the ChatGPT. Then at that point of time, we all will be very cautious. Maybe after a couple of years, all AI companies may tell that you can use unlimited, but whatever the content you used, I will charge based on it. Then I'm sure that point of time, you'll only ask what is relevant and related, right? That's the reason you need to be very clear in the first prompt itself, wherever it is possible. When I ask this, then it has given the final result. What is important here, right? When I ask a CA, it imagined as a California because it may be having a lot of California related information. When I said in India, it may be having a lot of banking information. When it comes to the education, it may be having a lot of computer application related information. When it comes to the commerce, then it came to the final answer, a chartered accountant. So what you need to understand out of this with a practical case, if you say get me food, you might get salad when you wanted a biryani. Instead, you can simply call the guy, I want Hyderabad biryani, little spicy with a double masala, no onions, extra raita. How clear it is. It is exactly the same. This is what the communication skills our school started learning. Since the school days, we were not focused. Now we are bound to learn, right? Prompting GPT without clarity is like giving Google Maps only a city and expecting a door delivery. We will take for our chartered accountant example now, right? I made another prompt engineering so that you can understand better. Sometimes your prompting could be 2 pages to get the result of half page. No problem. Don't think that I have given 2 pages information. Why you have given half? That's okay. Because that half is having a lot of quality. Sometimes you can give just one single line. You ask,
What is quantum computing? Because the entire world is talking about. Just ask for quantum computing. It's going to give you a paragraph. Don't think that just 2 words I have given, it has given 100 words. It's not about the quantity, but it's about the quality that is important. That's the reason prompt engineering is one of the most important. Let's take this case study. In fact, this is what we generally do it when it comes to building the prompt. Let's say I wanted to know the GST implications for the e-commerce portal. What is the first one while you are giving a prompt? I know 90% of you don't do this. Define the role of GPT is very, very important. You should tell to the AI that you are expert into this. Your role is a AI developer. Your role is a website developer. Your role is a Excel expert. Your role is a VBA expert. If you can give a defined role, then it will filter that particular role related data at the back end out of terabytes of data and keep it ready for you. That's the reason role is important. How the role should be: you are a GST and indirect tax expert with a deep knowledge of Indian e-commerce taxation and a GST. Now, what happened? Let me tell you the keywords out of this. Let me tell you the keywords. Is the session going well? Can someone, because I'm only talking from one side, not sure whether my voice is clear, the screen is visible and everything.
Yes, sir.
Can
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything
great,
is clear. We are able to hear and see your screen.
great, right? Now, let us see when I use a role of GPT, I have used a couple of keywords. I used GST and indirect tax expert. Then your GPT will start filtering the data. I said deep knowledge. Why? Because I don't want just the basic information. I wanted to give an opinion to my client. Then you have to use a word deep knowledge so that even out of the data, what it will filter furthermore what is crystal clear out of the entire data, right? Now, I've also given Indian. Why? Because when I say the GST and income tax, that could be, the GST in some other country, indirect tax in some other country, and Indian. I said e-commerce taxation. E-commerce taxation. Why? Because when I say GST, every industries are covered. Out of all the sections will be covered. But when I say e-commerce, again it started filtering only e-commerce related content. See, I out of the big data, I filtered what is relevant. I filtered more relevant. I filtered much more relevant. And finally, this is what the data on which it's going to give me a suggestion. If it takes from this, there may be a chance of wrong. Why? Because it's a used data, it will go everywhere and try to give you some random information. Of course, that may be correct out of this. But when you take the information from here, it is very clear. On top of it, it's going to use the basic models. It's going to use the models, whatever you selected. It's going to do the analysis. That's the reason, role of GPT is very, very important. Very, very important. Right? Now let's come back. Okay. Yeah. The purpose is set exam expert level tone for accurate GST advice. Let's go here. What is the step 2? Now I have given the sentence. Second sentence, give the business context. Any context for that matter. In our case, is a business context. The prompt snippet, how I can use it. I operate a B2B. Don't put it, my client is doing it and so on. Consider every time you are doing it until unless you specifically mention something different. I operate a B2B e-commerce portal that connects the buyers and sellers. First important thing, we don't supply goods ourselves, but enable third-party transactions. This is very important. It helps GPT understand the function of facilitator, but not as a seller, because e-commerce can be you are getting all the goods and you are selling in your platform, right? It could be a number of models which work. Because of this, now it can easily understand what is the work model on which you are working when it comes to the e-commerce. Your model is a facilitator model, right? Now, the third one, I wanted to ask because GST applicable when I generate a revenue, right? So list of revenue streams are given. Our revenue sources include subscription fees, listing platform fees, transaction charges, advertisement fees, NBFC commission if buyers use the NBFC services. I have to give the list as much as possible so that it understands, imagine, create at the back end a story, how you are building this entire thing, right? GPT needs granular inputs to give GST rate and liability analysis. Now, let's go to this. Operational highlight. Payments made by buyers are routed through Nostro account and released to the sellers only after mutual confirmation. This is very, very important. Every e-commerce company may not do this. If you don't do it, it may not give you the suggestion on this. That's the reason you have to be very careful of what is operational highlight in that you need to put it. The important to evaluate supply chain ownership and tax flow. Finally, the output flow, how I'm going to make it, give a point-wise analysis, GST applications for each stream. You need to see, I have given what is the role, I have given the context, I have given even out of the context what is more important, right? Now, I have given output format. Correct, Sharon, you are asking everything. Finally, what do you want? That is what the output format. The prompt should be give a point-wise analysis of GST implications for each stream, applicable GST rate, who bears the liability, reverse tax applicability, if any, are we considered e-commerce operator under GST, treatment of Nostro and escrow accounts under the GST, structure drives clarity in GPT output. If you can put it so that it's going to explain each and every item, right? Then ask for the legal reference. Wherever relevant, cite GST rules, notification circular. Otherwise, it's going to give you very generic information. Okay, we may boom wrong sometimes. It gives you as if it is correct. Helps for validation and adds legal depth. The final prompt, if I add everything, you are a GST and income tax expert with a deep knowledge of Indian e-commerce taxation under GST. I operate a B2B e-commerce and so on. This is what my revenues and this is what the Nostro, and give me the point-wise analysis on this, and wherever it is possible, give me the citations and everything. Now, otherwise this, okay, other than this, if you start using any other prompt, let me tell you, you will get the result. There is no doubt. Not getting a result is not the case at all. You will get the result. But how great the quality result you will get is the important. Now, what I'll be doing, now I'll go and ask a question. Provide me the GST implication on e-commerce industry, e-commerce company, right? This is my lazy prompt. What it has given, what it is giving rather. Mr. Saran, here is what I understand. You are asking for GST implications on e-commerce company, which may include how GST applies to it, because it is conforming with me. You may be surprised, right? Majority of the cases, it will not conform at all. In your case, you ask this question, it's going to give you the answer immediately. In my case, it always conforms. It always. Why, because my GPT is in my control. How I can control the GPT will go into the next topic. That is nothing but how important the custom instructions are, right? Now, for everything I said, go ahead, yes. Now it started giving, okay, information, applicability, TCS, suppliers selling via e-commerce, reports and returns, decent information. There is no doubt. Okay, it is in generic, it has given the information. Now, let me take my prompt, paste here. This is what my prompt, right? This is what my prompt is, right? Make sure that you format it correctly so that, it will not confuse from one sentence to the other sentence. Yeah, this is what the final format, and this is what the final one. Can I ask? Yeah, I'll talk about this maybe a little later, right? updated saved memory. I'll tell you why it is. Mr. Saran, here is what I understood before I proceed. See, even now, I've given a great prompt. It has given me again a lot of information for my confirmation. I will say yes, right? Here is the detailed analysis. See, because I asked very specific, now it is going into the more specific thing and so on. I'm not saying this information is 100% correct because whenever I open any AI, automatically my eyes will first go to this particular small sentence. ChatGPT can make mistakes, right? So that's why I always don't believe. I have to now go back, vet myself whether this is correct or wrong, right? Now I'm asking, I want a draft opinion so that I can share it with my client. Provide a draft opinion. Now I can be little lazy because it understood my context. I'm continuing the same context. See, it has given a draft opinion with proper paragraphs and so on. How many of you used, probably you can put into the chat box, how many of you used deep research into the chat GPT? How many of you used deep research into the chat GPT? Start using it if you have already not. The reason is when you use the deep research, if you are in the free version, then you may have a very limited access. I'm a paid version. I'm having 25 deep research. It is best when you get a client asking you to prepare a project report, right? So that you ask him to give the basic information, run the deep research with exactly what you are looking for. So your prompting has to be very deep because it's going to do the deep research. If it is done, then you are out of 25 in the free case. If I'm not wrong, 10, one is already over. So if you want to use when there is a limit, your prompting has to be not tested. Your prompting has to be clearly tested, not just tested. Just don't think that if it is wrong, I can use the other prompt because you are missing one of the, count out of this deep research and so on. It has given a very basic, opinion on this, right? This is the prompt engineering is. Why I always say you must need to vet your data before finalizing it because it not only just do mistakes, it does blunders. ChatGPT is having a concept called hallucination. Can anyone maybe tell what is hallucination? Hallucination, let me search in the Google. You will get better understanding. I'm sure in one of the Telugu film, okay, there is a concept called hallucination, Arya 2. Okay, she always think that as if there is a person, she always think that, as if there is something is happening and so on. It is a hallucination, right? Let's see what it is. Seeing or hearing something that is not really there because you are ill or have taken a drug. Oh my God. Okay. So whatever it is. So seeing or hearing something that is not really there. It's not there at all. I'm going back into the same context. I'm going to back into the same context. The advocate case, it created something with the facts as if everything is there. That's what the power of GPT. If I'm drafting a letter to my wife on I'm going to get the marriage anniversary, then I can use a creation, let it create, I'll read it, everything is great. Then it is going to imagine, okay, how a beautiful couple will be and what should be the relation between those two people. It's going to give you a nice poet and it's going to give a nice song. It's going to create a nice song for you, and that is good. But that's an hallucination. So many a times what it does, it's going to think as if it is there. Though even you are asking, no, it's not there, but it is still into the same mode. If that is the case, my suggestion, you stop that conversation, right? I'll tell you the best example of hallucination and how ChatGPT or any AI does the blunders, right? I'm going to give you one of my prompt. Okay, this I have made it long back. I wanted to give you an example with this prompt. This is one of a small Telugu article in one of the newspaper long back. maybe 7, 6 years back, about it's me only, about me and my wife with a small, text. It's a very positive text. Okay, how, we are supporting each other. So they have given a small article. Both are chartered accountants, how they are supporting each other and so on. Some content is there, positive content, right? And this I shared in one of my marriage anniversary. And one of my friend who is there in Bangalore texted me, Sharan, it is in Telugu. Okay, I wanted to understand what is there in the newspaper. Could you please send me in the English? Probably if it is 5, 6 years back, I could have said on this paper, I read the sentence, I translate it with my stupid English, what I'm having. But now I thought very easy because ChatGPT is doing wonders. Then I uploaded into the ChatGPT. Please translate into English. And in fact, it's not a handwriting. However, ChatGPT is also best in reading the handwriting. In that era, do you think I get a negative mindset that ChatGPT failed giving a translation to this? No, because very clear content, the text is very clear, and so on. Then I have asked a very simple prompt, please translate into English. Now, Mr. Sharan, here is the translation of the Telugu text in the image. Read it. That one eye-watering moment. Life is unpredictable. Anything can happen, anyone at any time. This is the heart-touching, tear-jerking story of Shiva. I don't know who is Shiva. My name is Sharan. Uh, from Nagar Karnool, while en route to Hyderabad with his wife and daughter, a tragic accident at Chevella changed their lives forever. His daughter survived the accident, but his wife, Jyoti, in fact, it changed my wife's name. Okay, tragically lost her life. In just matter of seconds, his entire world shattered. Unable to bear this loss, Shiva was devastated. See, then after seeing it, I said, what nonsense. Not even a single word is matching. Not even this text is matching. On that day, I felt it was in the hallucination. Understand the situation. If I'm like any other person like you or anyone who generally use the chat GPT, not understanding the intricacies of it, not understanding the tragedy part of it, directly copying it, pasting and sending it to my friend without reading it, considering chat GPT always is correct. Now what happened? If I send this to my friend, immediately within 1 minute, she's going to respond saying, I'm sorry, Sharon, my rip to your wife. Okay, how bad it is. Okay, in a lighter sense, I'm telling whatever I'm telling is the example. In fact, I'm not going into any other place. I'm into my chat GPT itself. So you must be very, very careful every time. Please, whatever answer, even being it is in English, you are just asking a draft letter, but read it once, then send across to the other person. Sometimes it does blunders. At least 10 to 20% of the times it does blunders. So make sure that, because the problem is when the 20-30% we doesn't know. That's the reason you must be very, very careful at every instance. Now let's come back to the important. Same, but not same. What I asked, what I'm trying to tell, for the same prompt, I asked a question right here. I asked a prompt, right? Let's go here. What is the prompt here? This is the prompt. I copy the same prompt. Let's see, how hard these GPTs are. Paste. Enter. Enter. Now let it start doing. It's asking me something. Okay. I said yes. See, do you think earlier whatever it has given, exactly it has given the same year? Now second listing platform fees, transaction charges, advertisement fees, NBFC commission, escrow or nostro account, GST treatment, additional notes, and so on, right? Now let's go here, right? In this case, see how many it has given. It has given remarks, but it has not given remarks there. Now when you just come, I'm not seeing anywhere it has used proper sections. and it has just given references, key provisions, Nostro, e-commerce operator, NBFCs, and this one. And here the additional notes it has given, and it has given the reference along with the section number, ECO classification, reverse charge, and so on. You may always, I did not, nowhere you will find remarks here. See, the point I'm trying to tell, there is no way you can prove to the other person that this is the correct one the chat GPT has generated, because the other person will simply say, put the same question, whether it's going to give you the same answer or not. No, it cannot. That's the reason I always tell same, but not same. It's not same question two times, it will not give you the same answer. Relevance of the custom instructions. The custom instructions in the chat GPT is basically about, the custom instructions are basically about, I'll just go here. I'll just go here. I can go to customize chat GPT. Always start filling this information. What should ChatGPT call you? If you could see, every time it is asking me, Mr. Saran, what you do, you give it. Then what traits should ChatGPT has? Before answering, make sure to confirm what you understand from my prompt. Once I confirm that yes, then go ahead, then only provide me the result. That's the reason every time when I ask a question, it is asking me with, okay, nutshell, is this the one you are looking for? Always respond me directly unless I request you otherwise, as if you react to your friend. Don't hesitate to call me with my name, Mr. Saran. That's the reason every time it is saying Saran. Provide the result straight to the point. Don't provide me with an intro para and close para, that para that please do not do changes if required, etc. So close para like please do changes and so on. Those type of things, please don't do it. And do you want it has to respond chatty, witty, straight shooting, forward thinking, traditional? You can just give whatever you want, based on which the behavior of the entire GPT will change. Okay, I request you please fill the details into the custom GPT. And another important aspect is, I'm sure whenever you are given, it has given you that, let's go here. You found a message that memory updated, right? Updated saved memory. What is this memory updation? It updated at the backend that Mr. Saran operates B2B e-commerce portal that connects the buyers and sellers and so on. Why? Because I said I operate here. You put the client, it will not update the memory. Why? Because it's not belongs to me. Why? When it updates the memory, what happens, every time it will go into the memory, even if it is a new conversation, it understands about you more. Around it, it's trying to give you the good information, right? This is the wrong information, because every time it also looks into this angle and give me the result. I don't want that. So I'll click the manage memory. I can clear all these memories, right? I can just delete all. There are a lot of memories. Whenever I say remember this, it always remember, right? Delete this, clear memory. Let's try to read it what it is. ChatGPT tries to remember most of your chats, but it may forget things over time. Saved memories will never forgotten, right? So when you put in the conversation, it may forgot, but when you saved, it will not forgot. Always it's trying to look into even that and give you the best answer. Why I'm taking the chat GPT, the same functionality is there in the cloud also. Even if you can go into the cloud, you can just go to the cloud choice and you can just ask what it can give you. You can just go here, the use style. I can go to the use style. Do you want it has to give normal, concise, explanatory, formal? Otherwise, you can go here. I'm sorry. Otherwise, one second. You can go here and you can create your own custom style at what it has to give. Choose from the present styles or create your own style, whether it has to give simple or the tone, how it has to be the vocabulary, because many a times I always ask give in the simple language, because I do a lot of R&D about the technology. When it is giving to the other, giving it to me, the message as if I'm a software engineer, I may not understand. So it has to give me always in the language of a chartered accountant to understand the technology better. So I go and change these type of things. That's what the custom instructions are. As I already mentioned, at what cases you cannot use the ChatGPT. Why always AI is not correct? I have given the best example of our image itself. Now let's start looking into the practical cases, n number of cases. In fact, now if you ask me, probably I might have tried only 10, 20. You out of the crowd of 200 to 300 people who are attending this session, you might have tried with hundreds of cases. But I feel these all are the important cases where you might have not explored. If you already explored, probably you can ignore it. Getting the recent case laws, drafting a GST reply, these all are best anyway, the chat GPT, or the AI, the GPT models. But what you might have not explored more, I am going there, right? Now, friends, let's go back into the Microsoft Excel. I'll start with Excel, then we'll start with the Copilot, then application building, and so on. This is my Microsoft Excel. Let me open a blank Excel file. This is my Excel file, right? Whenever I open my Copilot, automatically open. I don't want any Copilot now. Great. Guys, there is date. There is a date. And I wanted to get the year. I wanted to get the month. I wanted to get the financial year out of it. How to generate the random dates? I can simply do it equal to, there is a function called random between. What I can do, I can take the date function. Okay, I wanted to take from 2020, 2010, January 1st till I wanted to take 2024. Otherwise, I'll simply take it till today, right? Saran, why you want to write a formula? Can't you use ChatGPT? I can, but why I need to go and ask a prompt? It's going to give the formula. Again, I have to come back and practice because I already know this formula. How to extract the year? There is a function called year. Year is already a function inbuilt in Excel, which can extract the year. I'm not taking Excel session for you. There is a point why I'm coming here. If I want to extract the month, there is a function called month. Automatically, you will get it result. I want to get financial year. What is financial year? FY. This is 2018 iPhone 19. Let me copy it. Let me paste it, right? But do you have any function so that I can copy and paste it automatically? Let me ask you the question. You can put the answer either in the either in the chat box or in the Q&A. Do you have a ready-made function in uh, Microsoft Excel, which is going to give you financial year? No. Then how are you going to get the financial year? You have to write a very lengthy function equal to if the month is less than 4, take last year iPhone symbol this year. If not, meaning greater than or equal to 4, then this year iPhone next year, then join FY before the result. Very lengthier formula. Now what I'll be doing, I'll go to my either Cloud or ChatGPT, wherever you want. Go to the new GPT, new chat. I'm going to ask a very simple question. You are an Excel and a VBA expert, right? Expert to create custom functions. Because I have given a role. What is the context? I wanted to create a custom function with the name. What is the name? FY. I want my function name should be FY, in which I will provide date as an input, so that the VBA should process and results me the financial year. FY in the format FY XXXX hyphen XX. It's always good if you can give an example. Example for the date 02/06, okay, 2nd June 2025, the result should be FY 2025-26, right? Consider the financial year format for India. Enter. Now just enter. Now it's going to give the confirmation. Yes, Okay, input 02, then it has taken the March because I have not given an example, before April, right? So it has given. Go ahead. Yes. I don't want to read what it has given. I just wanted to know, that's all. Copy this code. What it is asking me, it is asking me to use shortcut Alt F11. I'll go to my Excel. I'll go to Alt F11, right? I'll go here. It is asking me to right click here, insert module. That's what it has given the instruction to you. Insert a new module. Control V, don't see it, what is there, right? Control, don't see it, what is there. Come back to your Excel. Equal to, earlier I started writing FY, it was not there. Now I'll write FY, of course it is there. What is the input? The date is the input. Enter, copy and paste it. Now let's test it whether it is correct or wrong. Wherever it is more than 4 the month, it has taken current year for next year. Wherever it is less than 3, it has taken last year current year, right? In these cases again, current year last year. Now what I can simply do, I'll save this Excel file. Let me save it in the same, right? See, let me give the name of this. Let me save it in XLSM. This name is custom functions. What I could do, now what is this function name? I'll go to the developer, macro, that's function name. You can just store it, whatever you are given in this particular Excel, right? If I wanted to give this in this Excel, this function name is a custom function, a basic function. So every time it's going to work it for you. Now understand and imagine a situation for a chartered accountant, how it greatly help.
So the first question is, they are asking if we can upload the guidance not provided by the institute and then ask questions. Can we trust on that?
That's what I'm saying. If you ask me, can we trust? My straight answer is no. But whatever the result you are getting, okay, you can go to the relevant topic, relevant page and you can understand. Okay, but when you are only these type of things, when you're uploading a data, out of the data, if you are asking, any GPT memory is very small. It will only 90% take the content out of it. However, I don't even, confirm that always it give you the correct answer. But considering it 90% correct.
Okay, sir. Okay. So the next question is, we have ICI GPT. Do we still need to buy ChatGPT?
Uh, I'll anyway come back to the ICI GPT, madam, because it's there in my part of my syllabus, my talk today.
Okay, sir. Then at the end, we will continue with the questions, sir, then for now.
Sure. Okay, let's come back to this. Now I'll make this little more, this function, I wanted to use it for much better. Because why I need to restrict that month is only 3, because you may be working for MNC company where their year end is always February. In some other country where the year end is 12th month. So what I'll be doing after this prompt, I'll expand this prompt. Now I realized I have international clients. I deal with international data. Hence, provide me second argument as month end so that financial year takes from that month. Okay, after that month. Takes after that month. Example, FY open bracket, a date. Date is like 10, okay, 5/2024, comma 5, right? Then it has to give me the result financial year 2023-24, because the financial year starts from 6th month. Okay, 6th month to following year 5th month. Give the prompt as much as possible. Now it is just giving an extra argument. Even I don't wanted to see what it is, right? So I just wanted to copy this. I'll go back into my Excel. I'll go back to the same VBE code. I can use Alt F11. I can just go to the Alt F11. Just go to the place wherever this is, remove it, Control V, just close it. Now, this is a wrong formula. I'll take it equal to FY, this, comma 3. This is perfect. But when I take comma 6th, that means my financial year start from 1st July. Yes or no? Yes. Now enter. See, it is clever now. When I say 6th, it is 17 and 18. It is 8th month, right? So it has taken 2011 and 12. It is 1 and 2, right? So previous year and current year. You can expand this function. If this is the case, Sharon, what is the practical usage of our example? I'll tell you. Okay, you are excellent. Always give some, a suggestion so that it remembers the backend that yes, Sharon is looking this format. Now, I wanted to create another custom function. I don't want to give the role because I'm already into the conversation. Another custom function in which I wanted to provide the following arguments, the following inputs, rather arguments. 1, taxable income, right? 2, old or new resume, in bracket O, I want, otherwise 0 is old, 1 is 1. Okay, 1 is new. 0 is old, comma, 1 is equal to new. Then third argument, can you tell me what could be the third argument? Taxable income, old or new tax regime, financial year, right? 2024-25, 24-25, comma 2025-26 assessment year. Otherwise, 24-25 is nothing but 1. I wanted to give only for 2 years. 2023-24 is equal to 0, right? And user should be in a position to give the taxable income. This must be a number. This must be a number. I hope you understand this. The format should be custom function names. Now, what is the name I want? Names tax, right? Otherwise, income tax. This is the function name I wanted to use. The format should be equal to income tax, open bracket, okay, 11,25,000, comma, I wanted to go for new tax regime, comma, I wanted to go for financial year 23-24. This should calculate income tax as per India for 11,25,000 per financially for old tax regime, in old tax regime for financial year 23-24. Okay, enter. Do you think is it possible? Of course, don't worry. Okay, so see, it is very clever. Sharon, do you want only this or do you want I'll proceed with the slab based calculation and so on. Do you want 87A or do you want CES also included? Yes, go ahead. Why it is not asking me what is the limit? Because it remembers the limit. If you see the rebate limit is 5 lakh, the rebate amount is 12,500, and it started looking, there were two slabs, 2 lakh 0, 2 lakh 50,000, 50 lakh, 5 lakh and 10 lakh, assuming unchanged slabs and so on. If you want, even you can give the slabs also when you think it is going wrong. Okay, but I don't want to do it. Let it be. If it goes wrong, then I can give more bigger prompt that way. Now I'll simply go here. Okay, I'll go to my VBA. I'll go to the developer. I'll go to Visual Basic. I'll put one more function here. Let this be. Let's go back. This is the taxable income. Now I just wanted to have some random numbers. random between. So I want at least 7 lakh to 17 lakh 95,000. Right? I want the absolute figure just for the understanding. Round up, I wanted to make it with thousands. Copy, paste special values. Otherwise, leave it as it is. Now, this is a taxable income. Now, I wanted to have income tax. Otherwise, I wanted to have financial year, old or new, then income tax. Right? Financial year 0 means 23, 24. 1 means this one. So what I'll be doing, I'll just put it, I'm sorry, random between 0 to 1. Let that give randomly. Why I need to provide it? Copy it, paste it. Equal to income tax. See, there is a functionality. Take this, comma, take this, comma, take this, enter, copy, and paste it. I don't want to vet it because I am very confident. Okay, if the tax brackets it considered correctly, if not, I request you please go and vet it. Okay, at least what I can do, I'll take it 7 lakh just for the understanding. It is the financial year for 24-25, and it is for the new tax regime. It's 0, absolutely, because till 7 lakh there's no tax. Okay, is it? Yes. So you just go it and henceforth you can use income tax. Now, as a chartered accountant, understand in the Income Tax Act and the GST Act, in different tax what you deal with, how many calculations are there to 34A, to 34B, to 34C, interest calculation, n number of cases. You put the case right into the chat GPT, give the process because it's a tax brackets, it may be knowing the information, but some other calculation, it may not know the information. Then you have to give the information. Then what you're going to give, you give the entire process, how to calculate, give what are the arguments required. Then you ask ChatGPT to create a custom function. It's going to give you the bundle of custom functions. See, now today I have created financial function. Today I have created income tax function. If you want, you can create GST, do whatever you want, right? So this is, I feel, one of the case study. If you can spend time, otherwise, even if you don't have a time, whenever you feel your article students are having more time, give them a task of one calculation, ask them to create a custom function, test it properly, because since you doesn't know what is VBA, how it work, you are going to depend on the code what it has given. So testing in the sense, give the input whether the final result is coming or not. In case of income tax, I need to give test at least old tax regime, new tax regime, last year financial year, current year. In all the cases, I'm 100% sure. Okay, you will get like that some 30-40 different functions. Every time you can start using it. You need not look for someone. Earlier, when we want to convert any number into the English wordings format, because when you want to send an invoice in Excel, always we have to put into the English format, right? We used to take the VBA coding from the online. Why you want to do it? Take the custom function and use it. Store all these custom functions throughout your organization. That's what the power, right? Otherwise, whatever it has given, I'm using it. What is the meaning of it? Great. Power Query M function, Microsoft Excel is having inbuilt powerful tool called Power Query. I'm not seeing anyone, are using it. Chartered accountants, though, at every seminar in my Excelism YouTube channel and different places, every time I encourage people to go and start exploring. Power Query is something this. It's an ETL tool. I'm sure from today you will be using it. I'll tell you how to use it. Let's go to my data. Let me go to this SARC workshop recently, which we have conducted. Multiple worksheets. Okay, great. Let me copy this. I'll paste this into our session folder today. Let me paste it, right? These are all, let's say, the data of sales data. These all are the sales data. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do here is that I doesn't know anything about the Power Query. Let me tell you, I doesn't know anything about the Power Query, right? Now, let me ask the chat GPT. Let's see what the AI helps me, how AI helps me rather. I'll go here. I'm using chat GPT. You can use in any AI for that matter. you are an expert of Power Query ETL tool, which is in Microsoft Excel. Provide me the M functions so that I can directly copy paste into my Power Query advanced editor for the following case. Now let's see what is the case is. There is a data. Now I'll take one console Excel file here. I wanted to have a file with the name called console. Oops, it's giving in Telugu. I'm sorry. Because with my hand, I got turned into Telugu. Yeah. This name is console. Let me open this Excel. What I want is whenever my client or rather my office updates the data with the next month year, they'll simply give the base data. Next month year, automatically my console file should get the final result. Should get that data also should be taken automatically. But Saran, how is it possible if a user is putting the next year data here and you will automatically get it into your Excel? That's what the power of the Power Query. Now, what I'm asking is, okay, let me give the prompt properly. My data is in the folder, okay, the sales data of different years is in the folder path, right? The Excel file names in this folder is, okay, 2017, comma, 2018, etc., indicating the year of the sales data, right? Now, there are 6 files, right? Let me open this Excel. Once you open this Excel, how the data is, the Excel sheet 1, the Excel again is having 3 months data, 3 sheets. Okay. Okay, don't worry. Otherwise, I'll conclude this. I wanted you to prepare. Okay. I wanted to consolidate all the sheets of each workbook in the folder. Each work, okay, all the data from all the sheets of each workbook in the folder. I hope you understand what I'm saying. What I want is, I wanted to consolidate the data not only from 2017 Excel file. In 2017, there could be 4 sheets. 2018, there could be 4 sheets. I want every sheet data to be consolidated, right? That means, let's say if 3 sheets are there, 6 years are there, 6 into 3, 18 sheets data it has to consolidate. Do you think it's going to give me that powerful code? Let us see. Right? What it is asking? You have the folder with the files 2017 Excel and so on. Excellent. Each file may have duplicate sheets. Excellent. You wanted to consolidate all the data, every sheet in every file into one table using Power Query. Excellent. The files are located here. Very good. Shall I proceed with generating M code? That all will load all Excel files into that folder, expand all the sheets to each file, append all the data into one single sheet. Excellent. I don't want to see what it writes because I least bother. I'll just go here. I'll just copy it. I'll go back into my Microsoft Excel. I'll go to the data. I'll go to get data. I'll go to launch Power Query Editor. Launch Power Query Editor. These steps are anyway there. Don't think that I am directly doing the steps. It has already given the steps. If you could see here where it has to be copy pasted, it has given at the bottom. See, right? Otherwise, you ask where to copy paste this. Now, I went into the Power Query. Now I'll right click. I'll go to a blank query. I'll go to a blank query. Now in this blank query, I wanted to go to advanced editor. In this advanced editor, whatever it is already there, I'll remove it. I'll paste it with my code. I don't know whether this code is correct or wrong, but at least there are no syntax errors here. Let me click done, right? There is some error. Oops. Yeah, I'm just going one after other. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. 1 second, please. Okay, advanced editor, I'm going. It has taken the source folder. It should be the source name. Then it has taken source is nothing but folder files dot this one. Then Excel files table dot select the rows, Excel text with and Excel dot workbook. Everything is correct. Why it went wrong? Okay, so it has given the file name. Then it has extracted the data. I'm just trying to decode a little bit. Okay, maybe if prompt is wrong, probably I'll go into the prompt itself. Now this is also fine. Now expanded the sheets. Now when it expanded the sheet, this is the error it is giving. Now what is the one you are going to do? The one you are going to do is simply take a snap of it. Probably I opened this Excel. That is one of the reason. Let me close this Excel. You can't open the Excel when this is, opened here. No problem. Let me close and load. Let me close and load. See, I asked a very big problem, right? Where you doesn't have any knowledge about the Power Query, but still it is giving me, but don't worry. It may throw an error. There is no problem at all. What I could, now let me first close this 2022 because anyway, I'm taking that file. Now you can go here. From here, what is a step to debug? Very simple. Go to step by step. Just go here. Go to the source folder. Source, this is perfect. Excel files, this is also perfect. Then what it has done, first it has taken the path. That path it read and get all the files. Excellent. Out of that, it only got Excel files .xlsx, out of which it has used the Excel function, okay, to get the contents. Very good. Then it expanded all the sheets. It has failed here because in one of the sheet, the field name already exists in the record. That's the problem. Now let me put it name 1 because if I put it name 1 again, there is a problem in the below steps. I don't want to do it because I am an illiterate in Power Query just because before you. Now what I'll be doing, I'll just take a snap of it. I'll give it to the ChatGPT. I'll just ask ChatGPT, what are you doing? Because of you, I went wrong. Let's go here. Let's go to GPT and give, oops, yeah, let it paste here, paste into the ChatGPT. Yeah, this is the error I got. Please fix it and provide me final functions, final code. Don't worry, it will give you with 2-3 corrections because it has to understand you, right? Now, please bother about your spellings and other thing. Now it will say sorry first. It's not saying any sorry also, how bad it is. That's fine. Because I said, don't be like a friend. It is really treating me as a friend. It said the error occurred because while expanding sheets, Power Query tried to add a field name called name, which is already existing in a table, likely from the file name. We will fix it this by renaming it as a name column first. Okay, here is the corrected M code. I don't know whether it is still correct or wrong. Okay, I'll go here. I'll go to my advanced editor. Whatever it has given earlier, I'll remove it. I'll paste here. I'll paste here. Just select it, remove it, paste here. At least syntax errors are not there. It may even give you the error, but don't worry. Okay, this is correct. Step by step, you can see it. This is also correct. This is also correct. This is also correct. This earlier here, there is an error. Wow. I think it's fine. Now only tables. Now add metadata, then expand the data. Excellent. Final result. Now I wanted to get the data from this. Why it has taken all these columns? I don't want any extra columns. Except the data and the file name, remove all the columns. because these all columns are not really required, date accessed and so on. So the final prompt, except the, oops, 1 second, it is a little slow because I'm working very fast in my ChatGPT. Except the columns from the Excel sheets data and file name, remove all other columns at the last step. Remove all of the columns. Why should I need to tell to the last step? Because I'm not an expert. Let it make it. Yeah, what are you saying? Loads all Excel files from the folder, reads all sheets, expand only the actual data sheets, keep only data columns and the file name, removes extra columns like item kind. Excellent. Done. Now I'll go here. Okay, this is the best part of ChatGPT. This is the best part of AI. You know, I do nothing. I doesn't know. I'll tell you how, I'll connect you how this could be used in your GST work. Control V, paste here. Excellent. Go here. Right? Oops, I got the data. Let's close and load. When I close and load, I got my data here for 2027, 28, 29, 30, 20, and so on, right? Now, what I can do, I'll just copy 22, 23 only. I'll paste it here with the name 2023. I'm going back into my base data. I'm adding a file. I'll come back into my Excel. Now 197 records are there. If I go to the data and refresh, can you put into the chat box? Do you think 2023 will get added here? Of course, because that's the way the entire GPT work. Now earlier 197 are there. Now 227, 2023 got added. Now all together, now I'll put it another 2 more years, 2022-23 paste here. I'm adding 2 more years data here. Then this is 2024. Then this is 2025. If I go back and refresh, that's all. Just go back, refresh. How many line items are there? 227. Now if I refresh, how many will come? 287. Because you got even 2024-25. Do you think anywhere my Power Query skill is helpful? No, but basics are required. You must need to know how to debug on your own. But otherwise, to build these many steps on my own, I certainly take a lot of time. Thanks to ChatGPT, right? So I request all of you start compiling the information. Now, for example, how I can take this as an example. I am doing analysis for the last 4 months data of the GST input. Let's say this April only I started. April is over, May month is over. Now these 2 months GST are to Excel data I kept into a folder. Then I'll give full instruction that out of this GST Excel files, take B2B from both the Excels, append everything one below other, remove the columns where total subtotals are there, then remove unnecessary columns, keep the columns where the GST number, state, sorry, IGST, SGST, to taxable value, cess and everything, then make a summary where I want customer wise, month wise, right? Sorry, vendor wise, month wise, what is the input and so on. Let's say if I can give this prompt, very big. I ask Power Query to generate a query. Now I can go and copy paste into my Power Query. Now what happens, it's going to give you an Excel summary, whatever you are looking for. That's not the best part. Anyway, it has done now. Now, next month, if it is over for the client in the same folder, you keep the June month data, GSTR2, come back into already what you prepared, refresh it. Your next month summary is ready and go back and put the data for the July month, come back into your Excel, refresh your till July, the dashboard is ready. So you can create amazing dashboards, amazing summaries without you every time copying and pasting the data and so on. That's the reason I always tell human may be replaced AI if human doesn't know how to use the AI. Let's all understand how we can use the AI so that we can do the best into that. Okay. And friends, CA ChatGPT is basically, let's go to the last part. I'm a little rushing because the time is almost done. CA ChatGPT, I request all of you to use it because it's always good. I already told you a example of this. This is the data of ChatGPT. And every time when you ask a question, the generic question, ChatGPT started looking into this data. Based on my prompt, it may start looking into this, right? Then, based on my excellent prompt, it may start looking into this data. But now, this data also generated by ChatGPT only. If it goes wrong, then what I'll, and also within this data, whether the source from where I want to get my result, if it is not there, it will not give you the result. So what is ChatGPT? They uploaded for every content what is there in the archives of the ICI, and they have created another small data. Every time ChatGPT or AI is trying to look into this data, but if it is looking into this data, the final result, it's going to keep it as a ChatGPT only, right? ChatGPT format. That means it is taking this entire data in generic and specifically looking into this data and using the base model. It is looking into what is the trained data on me. So ICI trained on this data for a GST, trained on this data for the direct taxes, peer review, auditing, and so on. Now, on this data only, if ChatGPT looks, it cannot give you the final result because this data is not sufficient. Looking into this data, using the patterns in the generic data, it's going to give you the result. So certainly this result is comparatively better than directly going and using the ChatGPT. But I'm not saying using a CA you will get the best result all the time, because it's having the same limitation of the GPT, because it is also looking into the same patterns using your own memory data and started giving the result. So that is what the little limitation of the GPT. However, this is better than any other AI because it is the content uploaded is our content. So certainly it can give better results comparing the other AIs. And Microsoft Copilot, whenever I'm using in any Excel, immediately you're finding this type of symbol. If I go to the PowerPoint, you'll find this type of symbol. Once I click it, you can customize the tables. You can ask any question out of the data. It's going to looking into the deep analysis into the data and so on. But let me tell you my experience. Don't, as of now, I request you don't be that much into the Copilot of Microsoft Excel and other thing, because it is not doing that great job what I thought. In fact, I have taken it because it's a worth of 3,000 rupees. I have taken the reason because it is I'm doing a lot of R&D on the data. But for you, and because I already started trying, it's not that great. Okay. However, even if you are not very familiar with Microsoft Excel, you can take it because you can simply ask a question that, write a formula in this column where it has to be like this and so on. If this is greater than 20, take this. If not this, then it's going to give you the if function. Other than that, till now, it has not done a great job for me. Okay. I think that's all. I have only one point. What these two are missing actually. Uh, I'm just stopping here. I'm only going to tell about this. Lovable, I'll just talk about the Lovable. Lovable is a GPT where you can build your own applications, but you need to spend little time. Initially, it's going to give you 15 credit at max. Then if you want more credits, you can buy it. I'll just take you to the website. I'm going a little faster now. There's a lovable.dev, DEV. Let's say if you first check whether you have your own website. If not, just come to the Lovable, give the prompt. Yeah, it is slowly loading. Yeah, give the prompt. Then automatically it's going to build all the files for you. You can directly upload. But let me tell you, if you want to use the Lovable, minimum technology knowledge is required. You should know how you can deploy this at least, because when I wanted to have a website, there are so many folders. It's going to give it to me, HTTPS folder, then it's going to give it to me CSS folder, JavaScript folders, and so on. Then how am I going to load this into my final website, my server, okay, which I can connect to my domain? That type of little knowledge is required. So what you can do it, basically you can get the files from here, go to your AI, ask the AI how to use these files. Combination of Lovable and other things are very important when you want to use as a chat GPT without having a knowledge of the coding. But If you want, you can spend the time here. Of course, it is a little costly because it's only give you initially very few credits. Later, you can buy it to get more credits. Now, the last topic is nothing but how you can connect your Microsoft ChatGPT into your Excel. It's very simple. You can just go to the data, okay, or you can just go to the developer, just go to add-ins. Once you go to the add-ins, search for Excel Labs. I'm not going there. I already downloaded Excel Labs. Once it get download, then you will be finding like this. I'm sorry, 1 second. You will get Excel Labs like this. It's having three functionality. One is, yeah, it's having three functionality: advanced formula environment. The other one is lab.generative AI function, Python editors. I wanted to open lab.generative AI. Open this. Then configure API key. Go to your OpenAI account. There you are having a API. Just copy it and paste it here. Just click this. It will take you to a website, your ChatGPT website. Go to the OpenAI, copy the API, paste here. What is an advantage here, Mr. Saran? It's very simple, right? Whenever you wanted to have section number 45, right? Section number 82. Now I wanted to know what is in brief about this section. Why I need to go to my ChatGPT, copy paste this, give me the brief and so on. I can simply ask here, labs.generative AI, provide me in brief about the section about the under symbol. Because why under symbol? It is as if like an Excel. Join this of Income Tax Act 1961. Otherwise, you have to give this entire prompt. Provide me in brief about the section of the Income Tax Act. Because I have given a reference, it's taking this reference. Enter. I'll copy, paste here. Now I'll make it, this. Don't worry. It's going to give it to you. Without me going into the ChatGPT, I got the result. Section 45 of Income Tax Act deals with the capital gains. It specifies that any profit or gain asking from and so on. Why I need to do this? I'll simply, put it here. Every time when you refresh it, it's going to give you, it's going to refresh the prompt again. So you must be very careful. Now I'll just make it merge. I'll make it this. I'll make it with a little small size. See, it has given it decent information for me. And I need not ask the ChatGPT again and again to do this because let me copy this. I'm sorry. Copy this and paste here, right? I wanted to paste the format. Excellent. See, now, do you think if I ask another section 192, I don't know what is this, 139, 138, just copy this, paste it here. Because it's a formula, it automatically change it, enter, it has automatically taken 138. 138 pertains to the power of income tax authorities to conduct the service. 82 pertains to the taxation of income from the business or profession. So I am using the advantage of Microsoft Excel formulas, building a prompt, getting the result. As simple as it. If anyone having any question, please let me know. Now with this, I am just stopping here. Friends, let me immediately close. Please bear with me another 1 minute because I'm going to share all these files with you directly. I'm going to share the link to all of you so that you can use it better. This content.
Sharon, based on that link, we'll share in the group.
Okay, what I'll be doing, I'll share across to you, Suresh Garu. Probably you can share across to all the people. Okay.
Sure, definitely.
That's all, guys, from my end. Thank you so much, HCAS, for the great opportunity. I tried my level best to give you the content for 2 hours. Thank you, Suresh, for the great opportunity again. Over to you.
Sharon, before AI, we are talking about artificial intelligence. By listening to your class, we realized that all are intelligent if you know the AI.
Of course, yes, yeah.
Good. I request Asha to give a vote of thanks to Ms. Sharon.
Sir, actually, we have a few questions in the chat box. Start with the first question. The question they are asking is whether the columns should be uniform in all the sheets and workbooks. Or shall we ask GPT only to consider only relevant columns and consolidate the same? I think it is related to the Power Query that you have just explained.
Yes, let me tell you, it could be same columns, or even if columns are not in the same order, you can just give the prompt that I want these columns out of it. That is possible. Let's say you want vendor name, sales, and final total. Vendor name could be fifth column in one of the sheet. In another sheet, it could be second column, but still it automatically consider, because in Power Query, there is a function called Excel.workbook. In that, automatically it promotes the header. When it promotes the header with a extra argument, it automatically consider it. So your Power Query can automatically taken care. So don't worry. That prompt you give it to the ChatGPT or AI, that does the work for you.
The next question they have is, can any app convert PDF bank statements and analyze the data to provide sales, purchase, customer wise and vendor wise with some clues or past year's data?
Fine. As per my understanding, probably his question is that uh, when it comes, what is the last part of the question? I think that's only confusion.
Okay, sir. Okay. So what they're asking is, can with the help of an app, can we convert
Yeah,
PDF bank statements and
got it.
analyze the data to provide sales, purchase, customer, and vendor wise?
Yeah, that
And
is
then
possible
they left.
without even
Uh,
having any products. In fact, Zoho type of products does this work. But let me tell you, your AI also can do it. But will it have a relevance to the previous year data? Until unless you provide it, it may not understand. Okay. So, but your first part of the question is, can I upload the bank statement? Need not to be into the downloaded bank statement. It could be scanned also. If it is very legible, content clear, then it can even read that content using the OCR technique, and it can read the data. It can arrange the data into the tabular form. It does the analysis on it, and it's going to give you the result. But when it comes to, because sales and purchases, it automatically understand from the debit and credit and the description. But connecting this last year analysis, it may not do it until unless you provide the last year analysis. Yeah.
okay, sir. So the next question I have is, sir, can you share the prompts you have used for Power Query and VBA functions?
I'll put into the text box whatever I have used, and I'll give it share the Dropbox link with everyone. Probably you can share in turn with everyone.
Okay, sir. We have a last question, sir. Is there any possibility that we can link ChatGPT to local file data so that it will remember all my logics, so that it will come with unlimited memory? So responses will be filled so much filter. If not with local folder, can I link publicly shareable Google Sheets?
Understand, just to give you a very quick information, in ChatGPT there is a option called projects. Projects in the sense, for example, when you are trying to work with only direct tax related replies, then probably you can go to a project name called direct tax replies to the income tax income tax department. Once you create the project, it's going to look into all the chats together and give you the instruction. Once I create a project like HCAS, right? Create a project. Once I create a project, I can even include my data also into this. Now it's asking a lot of data. I can add so many files. So in this project, if any conversations you do it, ChatGPT will take that content more and it start giving you the reply. Yeah.
Well, Mitesh Parekh here. I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, one is with respect to Copilot. In the Excel, we have good amount of Excel confidential data. So putting it for the training, will it lead to any leakage of the data, or we can encrypt the data? Is there any mechanism?
Yeah. Let me tell you the comparison between the enterprise AIs and generic AIs. Generic AIs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Grok, on which you need to upload the data and they are going to work using their models and give you the result. And your data, they may not use it as it is, but they use it for the training purpose. Okay.
Correct.
So when they are using for the training purpose, it is indirectly they are using your data. The privacy issues will be 100% there. But when it comes to the Copilot type of application, Copilot is a enterprise application that will work on top of your Excel data, your PowerPoint and your Word. It will not be shared with the original, whatever the models they're having. Okay, tomorrow in the future, the agentic AI is what I'm talking about. Those all sit on the organization data because 90% of the organizations are not using directly the AIs. The reason is because this data is going into the website or apps based on which their models are getting trained. Tomorrow, the Copilot type of applications more will come. The advantage is what? Already I have a basic model. Using this basic model technology on my SAP data, I will give you the analysis for you. But this SAP data is for your organization, but not for that company. So it will not go at all. The best part of Copilot is exactly the same. Okay, I hope you understand.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Because
And
they built on
secondly,
top of the entire application.
got it, got it. Thank you, sir. And the second question is with respect to the financial preparation, there are a lot of this, the data is being prepared, financials are prepared from the tally and the notes to accounts are there, and there are some other regulator compliances also. So whether the AI tool can help us in that front to automate the process, make life simple.
See, AI cannot automate the process. AI can only suggest you. AI only can tell you that this is the way you can do the automation. So entire your problem statement, you put it into a proper prompt. Ask the AI, give me the suggestions how I can make this entire automation. Then it's going to suggest couple of things. Then you give your limitation, your strength. You tell that I am a chartered accountant, doesn't have any knowledge on the technology. However, you please guide me with a simple steps. Then AI will tell that no, I thought initially to build you a PHP or maybe Python type of program. Now I will not ask you to do that because you doesn't have a knowledge. I'll guide you to build automation in Excel itself. Like that, you have to train the AI and AI will train you. There is
Got it.
no direct way that AI is going to guide you. That
Yeah.
is the solution.
Thank you, sir. And just can you help us? This Copilot icon is coming in your email ID reading. If you can.
Sorry?
The Copilot icon is coming on your email ID reading on the screen. If you
No,
can just.
everywhere. This is the one. See, it's going to create the customize the table. It's going to ask me the functions, right? I want a specific, budget and expenses table. Why I need to do that? I can simply ask it. It is just going to create for me. It is just creating a table into my Excel. I can just go and edit it. So my work is very simple. Now I need not to do anything. I'll simply go change my headers, remove this data. Automatically there is some data which is ready. Now I'll simply ask Copilot, you please change the, instead of dollar symbol to rupee symbol. Okay. And also please filter the data planned budget more than 500. Actual spending is less than 200 and difference is positive. Then it's going to filter the data. So if we are lazy in doing the basic things, of course, you can use the Copilot. Some of the cases it does work for the complex things, but as per my experience, I got very poor results using the Copilot. If whoever doesn't have a very basic knowledge, they can certainly use it. But when you have a huge data, at least it does 10% of your work. It does the analysis and give you some pivot tables, some sampling, and so on.
Okay. Then this convergence.ai tool is relevant, especially for the capital market transactions.
Sir, and as I mentioned in my introductory topic, hundreds and thousands of AIs are available, but we just need to go because I have not tried everything.
Correct.
We just need to understand our problem statement, go to the try now version, just check it out. Whether for your problem, it is the best solution. Just subscribe it. That's all.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
This is my email ID and phone number because one or two members messaged me personally to share in the group. So anytime, any support, you can reach out to
Can't
me.
read your email ID, sir.
You can't read my
Yeah, that's saran@chair.
chaiwritten.com.
Okay.
chaiwritten.com. Yeah, this is my YouTube channel. Probably you'll find a Thursday for Technology series here. And that's all from my end, guys.
I'm going to test his mail ID and phone number in the group.
Okay, thank you.
Can you go ahead with the vote of thanks, no? Sharon is not there. Due to technical issues, he's not able to join. Let us see.
Sorry, it was some network issue.
For technical master, there is technical glitches.
Yeah, now fine.
Let me take the opportunity to give the vote of thanks to Mr. Sharon. Ms. Sharon, thanks for your enlightening valuable session on especially AI. and making us to understand how it is going to be useful on day-to-day works and how to integrate with Excel file, how to write the VB coding and use in the day-to-day activities. Thanks for your time and sharing your knowledge.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And for all the team members, the recorded section will be shared in the WhatsApp group and it will be available for you to access in one day time. Thank you all.